What's good, y'all? I'm CHIEFtheOG, and welcome back to the Rich Before 30 podcast.
Today we're picking up at Chapter 2, Action, in the book Rich Before 30 by Gavin Chief Meredith. Today's topics are guilt, leaving the past in the past, adjusting your spending habits, living your passion, staying consistent, and not placing blame. We're going to go into more detail on these topics and go through a quick recap. Last episode we went over getting paid for doing what you love, not selling yourself short, putting yourself in opportunistic situations, and keeping a solid circle. Let's continue with Gavin Chief Meredith, Rich Before 30, Chapter 2, Action. If you're reading along, we're beginning on page 32. Let's have a listen.
You may self-consciously draw attention to your flaws, make jokes about yourself. You may even tell on yourself because of your own guilt. Really, many criminals have done it before, thinking the cops were on their trail and turning themselves in due to guilt and worry. Be more kind to yourself. Someone may have said something hurtful to you in the past, or you may have witnessed or done some wrongdoing. The past is exactly that, the past. The present moment is yours to mold and adapt like Play-Doh. Anyway, if you ask me, there's no need to buy the $175 Michael Jordans or the $50 knockoffs. I would much rather take that $175 and find a shoe manufacturer. Both the real and the knockoff Jordans cost about $5 to make each pair. That means I get 35 pairs of shoes. Remember, the shoes don't make the man. If you get out of your head and stop idolizing people who did nothing more than just stick to it, you can literally make the shoes. Well, hell, even if you didn't feel like manufacturing shoes from scratch, you could still get 4 pair of $40 shoes with that $175. You can argue with yourself all you want about feeling guilty about something in the past, or argue with yourself about wanting to spend more money to be more impressive. Go back and forth with yourself and rationalize with yourself. Should I really be spending an extensive amount of money on that? Is this an investment, or am I just blowing money fast? What am I going to gain from this purchase? Once you get real with yourself and realize your spending habits, you can focus on how to adjust them so that you can start living your dream and finally get rich. One of my good friends has accomplished many great things in the acting world. When I first got started in acting, I asked him to share with me the secrets of success. His response was simply, keep going. My friend told me that just like with any success, the congratulations slow down, then the question arises, what have you done for me lately? This is okay. This is life. You can't do one great thing and expect for everyone to stop living their lives to praise you. You want praise for doing what you should be doing anyway? Who's the real asshole here? The grind never stops. You always want to accomplish more. In my friend's case, he told me there will always be a constant fight and hustle to get into the next big film production. He would give me all the information he could because he understood that what was for him would come to him and be for him, and what was meant to come to me will come to me. He didn't worry about me potentially taking roles from him or that I could one day be more successful. He is sure of himself as a person. He knows his passion and his truth. Him giving me some information to help me out wouldn't affect his daily life at all. I have a friend group that made a song that charted #1 across the world. They experienced the peak of their success about 11 years ago. Currently, they don't have much to do with music at all. Tragedy struck this musical group. Of the 4-person group, one of the members was killed in a shooting, and another member passed away at a very young age due to natural causes. The 2 remaining group members pressed on with their music journey. Out of the remaining 2 members, one is still pursuing music. The other has opened multiple businesses and taken a step back from creating music. One thing is for sure, they haven't put out a hit song in 11 years. This is okay. They are still celebrated for their 11-year-old hit song, but they sure haven't done anything impressive lately. Consistency is key. If you are not consistent in striving for new goals, you will be stuck in a rut. Of course, when someone close to you dies, it is tragic and heartbreaking. Take time to feel it. Embrace your pain. Not for too long, though. You can carry memories with you, but seriously, don't worry too long. Your worry will turn into depression and excuses. It's okay to fall out of love. You grow and change as a person every day. You could be passionate about something one day, then the next day you may realize that what you've been focusing on was all wrong, or just doesn't work for you, or just no longer makes you happy. That's okay. In my friend's case, who pushed on to open multiple businesses, He has made great strides in his life. He lives every day knowing that he has put forth his best effort. The other remaining group member is now 34 and still acts like the 23-year-old child he was 11 years ago. He expects everything, yet has accomplished nothing. At least nothing lately. You can fill your mind with excuses and complain about how hard it is to do things on your own. But there are literally people making it happen every day. What's slowing you down is you being in your comfort zone. Most people would rather complain about why something's not working instead of figuring out solutions to make it work. You may come up with all the excuses in the world as to why you shouldn't or can't make any progress. When you do this, you're defending the person you are today, placing blame everywhere except on yourself. How can it be your fault you haven't made any progress in life? My question is, whose fault is it? Remember to always press forward with your passions. Like my good actor friend said, what have you done for me lately? If you do something great today, before you know it, 5 years will have passed. Then that great accomplishment is 5 years old. What the hell have you been doing since then? Do you have a line of excuses ready to riddle off to yourself and anyone who may ask? Or will you take responsibility for yourself and your actions and get rich by all costs?
The last sentence of page 31 says, "You may self-consciously draw attention to your flaws," and 32 begins, "Make jokes about yourself. You may even tell on yourself because of your own guilt." Funny but true, many criminals do it and have done it, thinking the police were on their trail when actually they weren't at all. Some criminals even help the police in an investigation just to see if the police are on their trail and end up telling on themselves thinking the police are going to get close. Your guilt can end you. Don't worry. You may have witnessed or done some wrongdoing in the past. But the past is exactly that, the past. Leave it in the past. The present moment is yours to mold and adapt like Play-Doh. Right now is your opportunity to take that chance and do whatever it is that makes you happy. Follow your dream and follow your passion. Don't let your past deter you. Don't let the ideas of who you were in the past control who you are today. A way to work on your spending habits is to ask yourself, should I really be spending this amount of money on that? Prioritize your spending. You first have to realize your spending habits before you can correct them and make adjustments. If you don't realize what you're spending your money on and how you spend your money, how can you make adjustments and make better spending habits for yourself? Of course, we make money to buy things we want. Is this purchase really worth it? Or are you just blowing money fast? Asking yourself these simple questions will help you when it comes to spending money. A lot of times when we have money, we get the things that we want because why not? That's what we made the money for anyway. But then we realize there's more things we want or things that we hold of higher priority, and by the time we get to wanting to spend money on that, we may have spent our money already on frivolous things. A quote from my book: "Once you get real with yourself and realize your spending habits, you can focus on how to adjust them so that you can start living your dream and finally get rich." A couple people have posted that quote on social media. Thank you to you guys, and I'm glad you get the message. Getting real with yourself and focusing on your spending habits is the only way you can figure out where your money's going and where it needs to go. One of my good friends has seen much success in the acting world. Of course, I've been on television and I am also on Netflix. My friend, though, has acquired some lead roles over his time as an actor. Of course, this intrigued me with the inspiration to do the same. I went on to ask my friend, how do you do it? What are the secrets? What do I need to know? He gave me a few pointers and tips, but he told me the main key is to just keep going. At first, I didn't understand. He further explained that the work he's done already will soon be 5 years old, and at that point, people will begin to ask, what has he done lately? And he said, that's the industry as far as acting industry. Whatever it is that you're doing, people are going to ask, what have you done for me lately? And I could absolutely relate being a musician and putting out music and putting out album after album. I could see what he meant. If I had just put out one album in 2016, who would be listening to my music now? Maybe a lot of people, maybe not many. I might have my fan base, but the question would still remain, what have I done over the past 5 years? To make progress, you have to keep going. The moment you stop making progress. Besides keep going, my friend gave me a lot of good pointers. Some things that I would take as real keys to the industry. My friend didn't hold back this information because he understands the way of the universe.
What's meant for him will come to him. What's meant for me will be for me. You must believe that the universe has everything you need. In abundance, everything you could ever want is right there for you. Your dream, even a dream that you may have not dreamt yet, heights that you have not yet reached, are available for your access. You just have to believe and trust the universe and trust yourself. Have more faith in you. I continue on to tell you about a friend group I had that ended up getting a #1 song. Their song wasn't just #1 in the United States, it was #1 across the world. This is great, of course. That #1 song was 11 years ago. But the point I'm making is that consistency is key. If you're not consistent in striving for new goals, you'll be stuck in a rut. Now, of course, when you lose a family member or when you lose someone close to you, it hurts. Take time to embrace it, feel that pain, but not for too long, because it turns into worry. If you stay in that state too long, it'll turn into depression and excuses. My group of friends has seen tragedy, as many people see in life. Over the years, one of the members was killed in a shooting, and another member, who I had known since elementary school, passed away from natural causes, leaving the 2 remaining group members, one of which has opened multiple businesses and lives life knowing he's doing what he loves to do every moment of every day. The other member is still chasing that fame that he saw 11 years ago. The group member who doesn't pursue music anymore, I state in the book, he lives every day knowing that he has put forth his best effort. This is motivation for anyone, and he still motivates people via social media. He inspires me. He does what he loves every day and just makes sure that he's happy more than anything else. Many people complain about not being able to do things on their own. You can come up with a limitless amount of excuses as to why doing things on your own is just too hard or too complicated. But there are literally people making it happen every day. You being in your comfort zone is what's slowing you down. Most people rather complain about something not working as opposed to trying to figure out ways to make it work. Then it comes to things that you wish you were doing, and you have a list of excuses, a line of excuses. Not having enough time is the worst excuse there is. I'm sure you can come up with an infinite amount of excuses to not do what it is that you want to do. Go for it, all you want. It's not my dreams that aren't getting chased. It's yours. You're stopping yourself by coming up with these excuses. And when you do this with every excuse, no matter how real you think it is, at the moment, it's a lie. When you tell yourself, oh, I don't have enough time, the more you repeat that excuse, the more real it becomes. The more relevant it becomes in your life. And with every excuse, you're defending the person you are today. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the person you are today. You are. Every excuse you make is basically self-diminishing, self-deprecating. Every excuse is you talking down upon yourself, saying that you're not capable of doing whatever it is that you want to do. Every freaking excuse is you saying, oh, I can't do it. I can assure you that all of your excuses are placing blame everywhere except on yourself. How can it be your fault that you haven't made any progress in life? My question is, whose fault is it? My good acting friend reminded me to always press forward and remember to carry the attitude of, what have you done for me lately? Because before you know it, 5 years will have passed, and the question will remain, what have you done lately? Any accomplishment you make today is well and great. Just remember to keep pushing forward. Goal after goal, you keep striving for more goals. And after you accomplish that one goal, 5 years has passed, what the hell have you been doing since then? When someone asks you about your goals today, do you have a list of excuses ready to riddle off? Oh, I can't because of this. Oh, I can't because of that. Take a good look at your excuses and see if they're just that, excuses. Reassess these excuses and find a way. Find a way to get things done. In closing, take responsibility for your words and your actions and get rich by all cost. If you haven't already, be sure to get a copy of my book, Rich Before 30 by Gavin Chief Meredith, available on Amazon. I'm CHIEFtheOG, and this is Rich Before 30 Podcast. See you next time.